state championship in 2011. Of course, he previously served as a head coach at Riverside, Lutcher and Jesuit. He also coached at Tulane for many years. St. Charles Catholic will host De La Salle Friday night at 7 p.m. in a key 11-3A matchup. Please give a warm quarterback club welcome to our friend Coach Frank Monica of St. Charles Catholic.
Thank you very much, Kenny. I want to first of all thank Kenny for inviting me after we played Curtis, and since the time was unbelievable, I want to congratulate the great start by LSU and definitely Tulane and the Saints. I feel badly for them after the way the game ended yesterday. Naturally, the difference between I've been on that side and whatever. Normally it happens to me in the first quarter, instead of the last quarter. But Kenny, thank you so much. I know that we had a big game against Curtis last week. In terms of that, it wasn't big for us, but it was big for them. And we just felt like, we were just outmanning the whole deal. And one of the sports writers asked me after the ball game, we scored first. And after the ball game, he said, "Coach," he said, "you came out, looked like you were fired up." He said, "What did you tell your team before the game?" I said, "Well, the last 11 had to start and whatnot." And as you can see, we kind of played like that. But I will tell you this: Curtis will end up in the Superdome at the end of the year, and so will I. I will be in Suite 346. There's a lot going on out there, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. My little football team is small, but I'm really proud of them. They're a little small team. In fact, most of my guys couldn't even ride the rides at Disney World, whatever, and they're still shopping at Toys R Us. And in terms of that, so we're 3A school, and we're 3A by 4 kids. 4 kids less than we'll be 2A school. I talked to the principal about kicking out 4, but he wouldn't go for it. And so it makes a big difference. But on a serious note, I really do like my team. We have no locker room problem. We have a good group of kids. Nobody's blown up the commode, and I think that so I really feel good about this team. We have good character. We're not really big. We don't have a kid on defense that's taller than 6 foot tall. We don't have any Division I prospects and whatever. In fact, my kids came and get a free car wash or whatever. But we do have one kid that's a pretty good kicker. He's a kicker, punter, and a good student. So hopefully he'll end up playing with someone. But I do like this football team. I think that hopefully that we can, get out of our ashes a little bit. We played some tough teams. East Ascension was very good. They have a back that's going to go to LSU, and East Jefferson is a very, very good football team, and they're talented. So there's 2 teams that are undefeated, and naturally Curtis is one of the best in the state. But this week we played De La Salle, and Coach Manalli's done a great job there. They're very, very talented and very, very scary. So hopefully that we can kind of regroup, and hopefully I get back to the line of scrimmage this week. That's what we're looking forward to. But there's some things out there that's changing. I won't keep you very, very long. There's a lot more interesting people to listen to. But the LHSA is about ready to vote on something in January that's going to change the landscape of everything. And one of the things that we're going to vote on is probably go to what they call divisions. In fact, we had to do a survey last week. And what divisions, what in the world's divisions? Do you have a district? Yeah, you will have those, but they'll be within a division. What division will allow you to do tennis? We already have that in tennis. We have it in some other sports also. It will allow a team to actually play up if they want to. They can play wherever they want to. What started all this whole mess was when teams were forced to play in that classification. Had that not happened, we wouldn't be going through this division that we have right now. And the divisiveness has actually gotten bigger. Whatnot. That's going to be one thing, the success factor, where you have to accumulate a total of 6 points, where you get so many points for regional, quarterfinal round, semifinal round, and once you get a total of 6 points, then you move up in class, and you stay there for a couple of years, and you could fall back down. Well, that's all going to be voted on. None of this is finalized until January. The other thing that they're going to do in January, which will be in effect for 2014, every class will vote if they want to allow other schools back in other words, select where we combine together with the public schools. We will vote by class. So 5A will decide whether they want the 10 select schools to move in with them or not. Now, most of them probably will pass. 3A is going to be rough because 3 and 4A is, as most of you know by now, 3 and 4A is going to be quite a war because there's no bad teams in that division. There are only 16, and the fact that there's buys involved with that is just a total mess right now. But some of those things will change. There will be some things that will be brought up Not only with the success factor, the divisional thing will come up, and there's a couple transfer rule things that will be in effect too. Now, I say effect, all this has to be voted on in January. So some of those things will be 2 years, some of them will be effective in 2014. But lastly, just that, we're at an age now with all the new changes that they have out there, I'm really concerned about the state of football. Especially because now the rule changes in the helmet contact and all of the the awareness of concussion and whatnot. I'm a little concerned about it because I call it the Pac-Man mentality. Football is now being eaten away by a lot of the other sports. And because of all the fear of the helmet contact, which I don't understand some of the awareness of it, is that it's scaring people away, it's scaring the community. And what's happening now, I really don't know how to coach our football players anymore. I don't know what you tell a defensive back that has to tackle a tight end come right over the middle. Whatnot. Well, what people are doing now, they're starting to go low. And guys, you know this, the good Lord did not make the tough football player yet to say, come take my legs. Is that right? All of you that played football out there, there's not one of you that said, hey, come tackle my legs. You want that hit up high. But I'm not condoning that you do that with helmet contact, but that's it's really getting to be a big issue now. And you're having other sports out there, and parents are starting to say, hey, wait a minute now, why should my son be subjected to that when he go play something else? And whatever. So because of that, and the fear factor of it, the numbers are dwindling a little bit. Also, we're in a society that it's a little softer society. It's not what it used to be, where there was never an empty lot at one time. There were always kids playing in it. But nowadays, it's really amazing is that everything, if you don't feel perfect, that kid doesn't practice and whatnot. I mean, everything is x-rayed, and MRIs are now a sexy thing to do, whatnot. And it's just a different state of affair or whatever. It's amazing that on Mondays, for instance, kids have to practice. We become a little bit softer. Bruises have become hematomas. Sprains are now called stretch ligaments. Sore throats are now strep throat. And a runny nose is now bronchitis, and it's contagious. It's contagious. And all those will keep you out for a whole week of practice, whatnot. And it's really something in our society now, and I call it the strikeout syndrome. We are really in this positive atmosphere now where everything has to be applauded, and you applaud everything. It's like the little kid at Little League, and the kid strikes out. And the mom and bleachers and the dads and the bleachers, that's all right, son, good try. Well, he just took 3 strikes and good try. It's called the strikeout syndrome, where they want everybody to actually applaud every little action. Well, it's not like that. The real world is not like that. We're not. And a lot of times kids don't know how to be told no. But with that, I'm going to stop because that's my soapbox for today. Whatever. That's the world according to Frank. And good thing is not like that because it'd be really upside down. But I'll open up to any questions that anybody might have to ask. Kenny?
Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand. Randy's got the microphone. Questions? Randy's got the microphone. Can't be that easy. Can't let him off that easy. Come on. Anyone?
Are those things likely to pass?
I'm sorry?
Those things you said are coming up, are they likely?
I think that a couple of things I think the class thing, 4 of the 5 classes will adopt them on the class issue. I think that there's going to be something about the success factor that probably go up. There will be some people against that. I will say this, the precedent playoff system, I made a proposal myself. I did not know why it didn't fly. Once the rule passed, I made a proposal with 16 teams involved in it, no bias. And it didn't fly. And then all of a sudden we went through this thing where 4A was supposed to go to 5A. On Thursday, the Wednesday, 4A was supposed to be combined with 5A. Well, all of a sudden, Thursday, they combined 3 and 4. And where that came from, they had a school relations committee that met with the executive committee and whatnot, and things changed within a short period of time. On Wednesday, Carr High School was a select school. Well, on Thursday, they were a public school. Whatnot. So that's how fast things change in Baton Rouge at that particular meeting. Some of those things will be reviewed, some will be tabled, and there will be a lot of others. That meeting might last for 3 weeks. It's going to be a long meeting. Bill.
So I guess one of the big concerns with private schools typically is the argument they get kids from anywhere. But in Orleans Parish, is it true right now that pretty much wherever you live, you can go to any Orleans public school?
Ever since Katrina, Orleans Parish is an open attendance zone.
So, I mean, I'm okay with that, but where are these principals who were complaining before about, you know, the private schools, why aren't they complaining about this?
Well, there's a lot that's going to be brought up about that, and I think that what you're going to see, what Mr. Henderson, I think, wants to bring up is that once a kid enters school as a 9th grade, wherever he enters or wherever he's from, he's immediately eligible there, but he's stuck there, and he cannot leave that school. That's one of the things that will probably be brought up. But remember what started all this. The previous regime was the fact that when all of a sudden when they wanted to make people play in their legitimate class by enrollment, that's what started the whole thing. And listen, most of us, I cut my teeth in public school at Lutcher High School. You know, that's where we all started. And I can understand what's out there. I mean, they're now talking about investigative groups and whatnot going into the schools and researching a lot of things. Well, I think that people, if there's disparity, I mean, a lot is based on the integrity of those schools, and that's what the LHSA is based on.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
I have a quick question. Talk about moving from a Baton Rouge district playing in New Orleans district, and then concerning the incident at St. Paul's, have you ever heard of anything like that in your coaching career?
Funny you said that. Well, we didn't like it. We fought hard to stay in the Baton Rouge district, but there were some people over there that did not want us in the Baton Rouge district. We were there for 4 of the last 6 years. All of a sudden, that district was completely torn up, and we were sent into New Orleans. I also asked that we combine the district, knowing that one of the schools here was not going to ever, Sarah Reed was not going to complete the season. We knew that from the very beginning. Whatnot. So we even asked to combine those so we'd have bigger districts, and I think that's what the state wants. They want bigger districts. That's another thing that's going to be voted on, whether go to 18 districts or 16 districts in the future. And I didn't mention this, there's a vote on whether they have 5 classes or 4. Now, personally, I like 5 because there's a big disparity in enrollment numbers. When you go, for instance, if you have 4, there's a big disparity at the top to the bottom. Did I answer your question? Oh, that's a lot of nonsense, okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you. I have to get back to make sure I get back to the line of scrimmage this week. Thank you so much.